gone, strangled by the wishes of later, hoping for the arms of later. They get to me the sooner of later. Holding back the years, chance for me to escape from all I've known. Holding back the tears, 'cause nothing here has grown. I've wasted all my...
All right, before starting the sharing, just to check if everyone can hear and see the slides digitally. Great. Thank you guests who are here with me today, together with all the viewers who are joining us via the webinar. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Edmund, Sales Manager of Seoul Luminaire. In today's sharing, we will be focusing on the key elements of lighting and how it communicates with the interior spaces, together with some important tips for you to take away and the new upcoming trend that we observe in the design community. Allow me to run through the agenda on the slides first. We will be covering presentation overview, our company's history, the role of lighting, determine good quality lightings, lighting trend, tips on creating mood and ambience, fortifying Seoul Luminaire's efficacy. Lastly, we will end off with some questions and answers. Being part of the element of design, lights is the spirit of the interior. Lights can play an emotive role in our day-to-day setting when placed accordingly within the space. Following through our company's timeline of inventive approach as we redefine the boundaries of your lighting experience. From the evolution of lighting technology to the application of lightings and the upcoming lighting trend of 2021 to 2022. Not to worry, as which we will be covering more details in depth as we move on into the sharing. Next. Our company history. Founded in 2008, Seoul Luminaire is an innovative lighting establishment in Singapore that uses the element of light in the field of space planning and design. We introduced our in-house brand of lighting fixtures, Aeon, 2 years after our incorporation. We design, manufacture, and integrate creative lighting solutions to residential and commercial projects across Southeast Asia. Our Aeon luminaires incorporate leading components from reputable partners, ensuring models that achieve high performance, consistency, and durability. From the start, we adopted a sustainable approach using chip-on-board LEDs, which we call COB. We introduced our mini series that emphasize on scale reduction and even lower unified glare rating, which we call UGR for short, along with deemed to warm technology and the flexibility of adjustable beam angles. In 2019, the Lab 2.1, a project by Seoul Luminaire, was launched as the first experimental platform for radical lightings and lifestyle products from Asia and around the world. Advocating a fresh perspective on this category, the Lab 2.1's concept is ever evolving to challenge creativity and boundaries. For this, I will invite you guys to view more information on our social media, website, or even scheduling an appointment to our gallery at 395 Kalimat Road. Next, please. The role of lighting. Think of your favorite restaurant, hotel, or even place. Does the atmosphere make you feel relaxed and comfortable? It is because lighting sets the tone of every space. In lighting terms, color tonality translates to correlated color temperature, which we call CCT. Achieving the right CCT and brightness can help design and shape the mood of a space, be it for ambience creation or for your daily tasks. This is one of the important tips that I will be sharing, all right? Being consistent with color temperature is the breaking point. Inconsistent or mixture of CCT may unintentionally create different color temperature and cause unnecessary distortion that will disrupt one's lifestyle. Think of living or working with a space that is co-sharing warm white 3000 Kelvin and cool white 5000 Kelvin. For example, we design and prioritize hospitality and commercial spaces throughout with a warm white temperature of 3000 Kelvin for productivity without the harsh glare. With Aeon's integrated dim to warm technology, it allows users the flexibility of dimming their lights to a relaxing sunset feel of 2000 Kelvin. Next, we will be presenting some completed project reference for you. In this particular project, we showcase different type of methods, maximizing a high void area by using downlights and indirect lightings such as cove lights, elevating the entire living space while filling the space with a warm, cozy ambience at a consistent color temperature of 3000 kelvins warm white. We have another project reference, right? Incorporating natural skylight, at the same time, utilizing artificial lightings to elevate a space with an additional layer of dimensions that results in transforming the space with circadian rhythm, which I will explain more on that later. So far, I hope everyone is able to understand the role of lighting. All right. Next, determine good quality lightings. In our industry of lighting, most common requirements are like how many wattage is your light, or how bright is your light. Next is, are they long lasting or durable? But it's actually more than that. Design of lighting fixtures, beam angles, color rendering index, and even down to the material do play a huge factor for good quality lightings. Aeon's product take precise beam angle into consideration, minimizing stray lights to better allow wall washing activities to be achieved with its well-rounded scallop lighting effect for your paintings or even your feature wall, as you can see in the photos above. A minimum color rendering index of 90 ensure visual crispness and an accurate reflection of colors, as you can see in the paintings we have in our gallery. Let me explain what is coloring rendering index. CRI for short measures the ability of a light source to accurately bring forth the color of your interior, furniture, and everything you basically spend for. It ranges from 0 to 100, where 100 is being the sun. You will notice when you take a photo on a nice warm sunny day, the quality of your photo will surely be better as compared to taking it in an indoor room. So with high value of CRI, this will be able to bring out your interior to its fullest potential, and that is with the use of good quality lightings. Materials. With the constant product development tailored for the local market, such as exploring different finishes and materials like concrete, electroplated, texturized, and even rubberized sheen luminaire fitting, our luminaires are design-centric and cater to a timeless aesthetic. The Aeon series today is constantly being improved on and re-examined. Understanding the market requirements and users' behavior allow us to innovate without compromising on performance. Here are some examples for your reference of good CRI. As you can see, to avoid giving off an unwanted vintage dull feel, Aeon emphasized in CRI with a minimum of 90 out of 100 to accurately render out the visual to human eye, not just an artwork vibrancy, but also the space finishes. With the next few slides, we will be sharing with you more of our recent and current products. In the form of design, Aeon seeks to challenge on conventional luminaires. Being at the forefront of lighting trend, we believe that the future of lighting designs will take on a discreet and minimalist outlook, equipped with reputable components to ensure superior performance. In addition, Aeon advocates for soft ceiling concept where light beams are gently directed and flow outwards from our fixtures, enhancing visual comfort with the majority of Aeon's product featuring a unified glare rating of under 19. I'll be talking about ISSA V3. Taking our ISSA V3 as an example, jumping back on how we re-examine our current products, I would like to take our attention to our ISSA V3, where we recently upgraded the fittings by reducing the diameter to 75 mm and below. That emphasized on decluttering on your ceiling outlook while achieving a high CRI value of 95 and below. Next, Gypsum Series. Exclusively within Aeon, selected models equipped with the Gypsum Series results in a soft concave ceiling outlook that will also create a unified ceiling outlook with multiple lighting fixtures. Gypsum series are also customizable to users' preferred paint finishing that can be best matched within the home color theme. Next, I'll be talking about Global Art series. All right, our first ever collaboration with our local interior firm, Architology, is one of the first few examples that we like to explore different materials within our products. Next will be Volley series, as you can see, a unique and spherical exterior within Aeon's arsenal. Volley is equipped with the beam to warm technology that creates an additional extension to the existing dimmable function. All right, now we'll be touching on the tips on creating mood and ambience. Here is an important tip for everyone, be it for interior designers or architects or even new homeowners. Lighting layering is one of the key methods individuals can adopt to softly light up a space through mood lightings. This can be done with a mix of dimmable light sources such as downlights, cove lights, and pendant lights. Dimmability is a key element in building and creating depth to stimulate positivity and good vibes. Referencing from our completed projects, a mix of lighting categories at specific placement provide users the ability to create different focal point area when lights are switched on. Let me explain further. The photo with the two gentlemen show how light layering can create a soft atmosphere for a long conversation of their daily activities. This is with the use of indirect lightings and the focal pendant lights by Arturo Alvarez. The photo below showcases mainly on all the bespoke furnitures selected by the designers. With the focal area, it provides a sense of shadow play to emphasize and de-emphasize various elements to complete the overall lighting experience. All right, I will be touching on the use of indirect lightings. Indirect supporting lightings categories such as cove lights gives off an additional flare to spaces that add on virtual depth and the ability to selectively switch on during different occasions for bespoke purposes. All right, moving on, we will be touching to lighting trends. All right, in the year 2018 to 2019, we observed the trend of lighting to be slick, modern, and contrasted. Interiors with monochrome and neutral palettes were popular among designers and homeowners. But as we approach 2020 and 2021, and even towards 2022, we see a change in the consumer and the market preferences. Homeowners in commercial spaces are looking for lights that are discreet and small in size. They will go unnoticed, yet boost the same efficiency and performance. A clean and soft ceiling outlook is preferred with a focus on furnitures and home and decor instead. As you can see, the photos of our project. All right, Line Mini, all right, mainly touches on scale reduction. With its slim and sleek profile, Line Mini is a go-to model within Aeon's collection for its discrete ceiling outlook. You can also choose to contrast it off the white ceiling or cleverly detailing into ceiling trench are some of the concepts that Line Mini works very well with. Right, moving on. Okay, we're going to talk about decluttering ceiling profile, as you can see in the photos above. Worried of having a cluttering ceiling due to multiple luminaire placement will be non-existent. As within Aeon, boost a reduction in body size to elevate your ceiling design. Through this, if anyone is excited to explore newer lighting trends and different approach for your lighting experience, our team of lighting specialists is readily available to discuss the details with you. Feel free to contact us via our hotline or our social media platform. All right. Next, we're going to touch on to solar luminaires, fortifying solar luminaires efficacy. Right. Being in the digital age with the constant need of immediacy, it is important that solar luminaires evolve to address the pain point of the market. Our company is the only lighting company in Singapore to be an exclusive partner with leading lighting software, Dialux. With a 99% accuracy in lighting calculation, interior designers and architects can skip the guesswork knowing that what they see is what they get. This is mainly to avoid any additional work for our industry partners. Working with Dialux has not only increased our efficiency, but has boosted the confidence of our clients. This is the result of how Dialux ensure one of our prestige project and OCBC premium private clients. So as you can see, the visual on the left itself showcases more of what will be presented through Dialux, whereas the actual photo above will be the actual visual that the client has been experiencing in the actual project. All right, we'll be sharing with you guys a little bit more regarding of how Dialux will be done and how can you benefit from Dialux itself. So the video will play. All right, so I'm going to share a little bit more of how the software basically helped you guys. So with Sol Luminaire Certificate Dialux Lighting Design, ensure your requirements are all well addressed before and during the project. So as you can see in the visual just now earlier in the short clip, it basically exercise of how many lights would you actually need within a space. So rather than we try it out on site, Dialux were able to fortify the proposal of individual, be it the designers or the architect, or even the team of lighting designers that is with us in Sol Luminaire. These will basically ensure the preferences of your brightness in your interior space will be well addressed. All right. Next, introducing one of our most important individuals together with us, which is Domus. All right. We work closely with Domus, a smart home provider that specializes in biophilic design solution, leveraging primarily on Lutron. This partnership ensures that your home lighting system will be tailored to suit your personal and lifestyle needs, integrating the circadian rhythm into your smart home function to ensure your environment is fully optimized in terms of lighting, temperature, and even security. This is a short clip of our gallery discussion area equipped with Domus home control, equipped with Lutron home control system by Domus. So as you can see, in terms of the video itself, with Domus on board to smartly operate the lights that is shown in the showroom itself, it enables user to create various scenes, various control to suit individual lifestyle and needs. So if let's say, if you guys are interested, feel free to reach out to Domus for any further details whereby they will share with you guys more of how you can approach your needs and requirements. Next, we have Domus to introduce Circadian Rhythm through this video. All right. Thank you so much for the video. All right. So moving on to the next content, or maybe I will touch on a little bit for regards to the circadian rhythm. All right. So what the circadian rhythm actually helps is it gives you the sense of brightness that is required towards the time of the day. All right. Moving on, if let's say you were to wake up early in the morning at 4 a.m., you don't want to have your lights to be super bright at the highest performance, and that will indirectly affect your feelings, your mood, and everything. So that's where the use of circadian rhythm benefits through presenting the right sense of brightness towards what you need. So in the time of in the morning itself, you need not to have the lights to get its fullest potential. You could have it to be set as such as a 10% brightness or 20% brightness. But as we move on, that's where the time and the performance will move on accordingly. That's the use of circadian rhythm in our residential stay. All right. Lastly, to end off, we pride ourselves with our in-house technician team, which allow us to expedite our servicing requests with a targeted timeline of 24 hours to 48 hours. And these basically provide a peace of mind to all of our clients. Now we can answer to some of your questions, and we'll take a break to answer some of your questions that you have. All right, I do see there's a few questions coming up.
Okay, we have some question from Zoom.
Right?
From Zoom, yeah. So first question will be, do you provide lux calculation report to clients?
Yes, we do. So given to the requirement of dial-ups, right, there will be a further detailed discussion taken place to enable the full presentation of dial-ups. So to answer your question, Sue, it's yes, we do provide, be it for residential or commercial.
Okay.
Sorry?
Okay, so we'll move on to the second question.
Sure.
So is there any plan to introduce like virus killing lighting products?
Virus killing lighting products.
Yes.
Wow. I think that is a first for me. To be honest, we have yet to work with such requirements, to be honest. But who knows, maybe technology will bring us there someday as we talk about innovating our products time after time. Yeah, sure. There is one more question I hear.
Okay, I would like to ask, because due to this sensitive period, right,
Sure.
of COVID, so if you would love to swing by the showroom,
Right.
Do we need to book any appointments?
Right.
Or can we do a walk-in?
Right. To be very honest with you guys, personally, I highly encourage the appointment to be scheduled beforehand. The reason is it may be unfortunate where if you during occasions where you want to walk in and the showroom is full, you might need to wait to enter to the showroom to visit that to view the lights. So preferably a showroom appointment would be ideally required.
So Edmund, my question is, you mentioned that Luminaire's lighting trend is to declutter the ceiling.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how is Line Mini going to help to declutter?
I think that's a very good question. Okay, so let me address your question first. So for Line Mini, in fact, if I were to be able to share with you guys in person, in terms of close contact, the dimension of Line Mini is really extremely small. We are working with items that are below 100 mm in terms of length, and in terms of ceiling clearance, it is also very, very shallow. All right, we just mainly need about 50 mm for exact clearance, but we do recommend a bit of allowance and a bit of space in between. All right, so if you guys are able to join me, or maybe you can discuss with me after this, I'll show you the exact details of how the Line Mini looks and how small it is actually.
We have another question over here.
Sure.
Do you actually provide supply and installation services or only supply?
Sure. For Luminaire, right, we are mainly a supply and maintain services that we provide. Regards to installation itself, we do have a few contacts of good subcontractors that we have that we normally will recommend. So through that, we do have a playbook that we commonly share to our clients, so that is for your personal engagement towards individual subcontractors. So to answer the question, we mainly supply and maintain and not supply and install.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have now last question over here.
Sure.
Can I just check if my client would love to explore into automation?
Right.
And also, let's just say some areas with automation and some areas without. So
Right.
will mechanical switches actually be compatible with the light fittings in terms of like dimmable functions?
I would say there's a few ways to approach. At the olden days, yes, it's all through mechanical dimmer switches, where it's all wall mounted and stuff. But as we move on to the current trend of technology, more and more homeowners are exploring smart home automation. That's where I will highlight again. You can definitely reach out to Domus as they have a recently introduced product which is called the Lutron Ra2 Select, and that is one that enable you to work within a typical space of maybe just a living room or maybe your entertainment space that you have. Yeah, so to answer your question, you can actually consider to both dimming mechanical switches or smart home automated switches. All right. I hope you guys are able to have a takeaway from today's session regards to the lighting experience that we have. And I would want to thank you all for coming today to hear my sharing today. I hope to see you guys soon. But don't worry, guys. Before I end off the session, we do have a second series, which is with Domus on board. So Domus will be sharing with you guys a bit more in depth of what they provide to all their clients on board. All right. So I'll invite Chun Ho, which is the director of Domus, where he will be sharing a few details for you guys. Chun Ho. Right. Yeah. Thanks, Chun Ho.
Thank you so much. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We are blessed to be partners of Soul Luminaire and given this opportunity to show a little bit of what we can do. Basically, I have a PowerPoint of about 50 over slides, but I'm going to cut short to those key areas where we think we're going to communicate some great takeaways for you guys. This is actually our intention today. Okay, quick, brief outlook. So the contents, we've been around since 1999. We have some solutions that we're going to show what we can do for you. And have any of you guys heard of what's VFM? If not, that'll be explained shortly. And hopefully some insightful takeaways. And we believe in this one creative force of love for everybody to go around. So nobody's shortchanged, everybody feels better, and then the whole project will be lack of negativity and we can move forward a whole lot better. Well, lighting solutions is one part of what we do. We do audio video distribution system. We do home theater by design. We sell you what you need, not what we have. And then we have a top layer of integrated control system that sits on top of that to control everything else, even including security system. And all this, we can customize it to put into business applications. So this is actually what's in it for me. VFM, the most popular radio station, because that's the only message where all our customers will really want to hear and then where they tune into. So with that in mind, we have early alignment. We start off on a great start, and then we have focus, we have purpose, and the outcomes will be a whole lot more aligned. So I'm not sure if you've heard of this great saying by Zig Ziglar. You don't have to be great to start at something, but you need to start to be great. So basically what we do a lot of alignments with all the stakeholders, from the owners to the principal, consultant, the architect, the interior designers, the consulting engineers. Our idea is to do all the heavy lifting, preempt all the problems and try and sort it out earlier. And upfront addressing of some design afterthought based on our experience we have since 1999. So Edmund has already shown to you what is circadian rhythm, which is actually a natural cycle of the day of the natural light and how we assimilate to it to be able to get ourselves in the proper sync of things. Biophilic design, basically is some of the projects, how we design the indoor and outdoor interaction. For us, Biophilic, I think the world-renowned architects and interior designers have already adopted all these design concepts into designing all their projects. And this is one of our main objectives, all right? Nature's way to let us be at our best. Can you skip this video? We've already seen this video. So I'm going to show some pictures on some projects that we've done over the years and how Biophilic is being a design concept that they have adopted from the architect down to the interior designer. And we want to fulfill all this design intent that they want and how we can help it in different ways. So this, we're bringing the beautiful outdoor, indoor. It's going to be quite a bit of maybe about 20, 30 pictures. We should just go through them fairly quickly, just get some general concept. And then with the design intent of every project, we see and how we can add value to it. I think most of these pictures, as you see, they're quite self-explanatory. And feel free to ask any questions later on at the end of this presentation, please. This is quite good because what happens is now what you see is just the indoor lighting that we're controlling. And now more holistically, we control the outdoor light from inside. At the same time, we get this synergistic blend of indoor and outdoor. And here's a good comparison. You can see on the left, just purely indoor. And on the right, you can see both indoor and outdoor working in concert seamlessly. This is quite a special video. We're going to show you a few things with lots of sequential programs, delays, and dimming up and down. So just take a look. You're going to light up your pathway in sequence. A great way to greet your guests. All right? Welcome you home, feeling safe and warm. This has been quite a killer video app that we've shown to a few of our clients, consultants, or stakeholders, and they understand to be able to do this, there's a lot of design requirements that we need to capture and how we're going to design our system and program it and test and commission in a way where you can get this kind of effect. So you from point A to point B, the lights will light in a certain sequence. From point B back to point A, we can do the reverse sequence. That's a level of intelligence that we have always brought along with all the projects that we do from the very onset. A bit more of indoor-outdoor interaction, so you see how the space works. So it's a beautiful outdoor daytime. All these pictures are quite self-explanatory. Take a look at them. Later you can ask me specific questions on it. This is quite interesting. So we have lights that's lighting up this walkway. At the same time, there are small windows on the wall to allow some natural light to come in. So that's how it looks like from the outside. So when we turn the lights on inside, you still get the beautiful feel on what's up there. Can you guys see this on the screen? Or this? Yeah. Basically, the design here is very, very well thought out. The architect has an idea. In the daytime, when you don't turn on any of the electrical artificial light, there's a skylight there to allow some natural light to come through. So as a system consultant and all that, what we want to do is to really harness the natural lighting and how we use the artificial electrical lighting to have that seamless blend and find that sweet spot that we want. So here it's late in the afternoon. We can still light up the whole space outside here. So it's accented, and yet you have natural light coming through from the skylight. So we understand the requirement from the architect, what they want to do, and we further enhance, giving it more flexibility and more options for you to do this. And really, this is the epitome of Biophilic design. The garden is so close to you, you can open up the windows when it's nice weather, bring the air and the light in. And if it's raining, you might want to close the window. Or some people still like a little bit of water to come through. So you have a really close garden to you that you can control whether you want to have it accessible to you or not. This is designed as a study room that's meant to float up. So the structure there, So the structure there is very small, but heavily reinforced and it's floating up. What they have really done very well is that they have not over-designed this perimeter to be lit up with some LED strips. That will be an overkill. So it's a very nice subtle balance of what's needed and finding the sweet spot again on what is really natural and what's really very comfortable. You see more pictures as we go along. The wooden strips on the floor are all edge wood. They've been out in the elements for many years. So once you put this in place, it will not warp or will not change its own texture anymore. So the light is meant to be a side throw. And from a famous architect, he actually mentioned when the pool is turned off, the light, it acts as a mirror. There are times that when you want to turn on the lights in the pool, so you don't get this reflection. This is another house. The details you can see, even on the walls or the facade, they have the herringbone design over here. And this house is built on dramatic slope. Get some idea how they want to do certain things. So we're showing all the day view. So we believe lighting is a fourth dimensional architecture. With all things so beautiful, it comes the night time when we turn on the lights and does not reflect or accentuate what's needed, then we have failed at the job. The natural lighting that comes through in the late afternoons. Indirect light coming from the carpentry work. Because light, what you see is all reflected light. All right. So if there's no reflection, you can't really perceive any light actually most of the time. So now the details are all accentuated. In certain areas you want to be lit up, certain areas you don't. And when you want to turn them on, fast and slow, there are certain things you want to do. Same concept again. The pool's light is turned off, all right? And then you get a mirror reflection. We also did the design, lighting consultancy for Audi showroom. This is what we have done. There's some concepts here as we design the lighting bit. This is going to be quite interesting. If you look up at the ceiling, you'll see this. And I'm not sure you guys know about wall washing and wall grading. They're two different concepts. It's how to light up the wall for different kind of application. So for wall washing, you want it to be from the top to the bottom to be as evenly distributed as possible. There's some walls where it's heavily 3D textured and all that. You want to see the grain, that's when you grain the wall. So the different type of lights and the position and how you dress it, we'll see different kind of effects. Any questions so far? No? We believe that the whole is greater than some of its parts. So let me run through this quite quickly, then we go to this more interesting stuff that we're going to talk about, some concepts behind. At the end of the day, where you guys can take away some really good insights. Right? These are some of the famous quotes about lighting. To us, we believe by lighting right, you live right. That's a Dormer's philosophy. This is really something that if the whole presentation is too much for you, something I hope you will take away with this. Basically, after more than 20 years of providing all these solutions, we finally managed to articulate what we want to communicate to everybody. And this is actually a common language and protocol where everybody are tying together. So we have concepts of all this triple A, triple C, triple T. So we're going to save time, save money, reduce all unnecessary work, and then increase the one creative force. I would suggest you take a look at our this link and see what happens. Basically, Kim, can you click on the link? Okay, no worries. Let me go back to that. Okay, let's orientate. No worries. I'll take it from there. These are some of the simple general insight I hope you guys can take away at the end of this presentation. The concept from the top, Circadian Rhythm, we've explained, the Biophilic Design concepts, and we believe in simplicity, and we believe less is more. We don't believe in clutter, we don't believe in using more hardware than necessary. So when we design something, it's always minimalistic, and then we take it from there to build on it, should it require additional hardware or different kind of additional application that's needed. And like all things beautiful, form, systems are like functions. So we want to blend the form and function seamlessly so that architectural interior design intent are well delivered without too much interruptions from the function side. This is my personal belief regarding especially projects. So there's enough love to go around, everybody will benefit. So the whole project is very positive and we cut down all the negativity and then the project can go on well for everybody. Everybody's got to do well in the project for it to be more synergistic. That's from Mother Teresa. We sincerely believe that we like to ask for your permission to see how we can assist in any job. Q&A. We have questions here from the floor.
Okay, you talk about natural lighting. So how do you work around or block natural lighting? For example, like if I have a huge window panel, so I would assume you integrate with a shading system or blinds?
Okay. That's actually a very good question. When we talk about lighting, a lot of people forget what is natural lighting. Not just the sunlight, but also the moonlight. And whenever I talk about lighting, even with Sol Luminaire, their light fixtures, all this, they want to have a very holistic and all-encompassing solution that don't just control artificial electrical light, but natural lighting too. So sometimes we want to harness or harvest the natural light, so we might open up the windows and so forth. But sometimes it's so glaring, you want to remove the heat. You might want to have some window treatment, be it blinds or curtains, to have total light management control, both natural and electrical artificial light as one. Does that answer your question?
Yep, I think so. Another question for myself. At which state of the project should I engage you guys, or should I start looking for lighting control, smart lighting control?
Okay. That's a very good question. What happens is this: the later you get us come in, the more challenges we'll face, and there will be less love for one of us. So I believe the earlier we come in, so we can sort out the stuff, and we can upfront address some design afterthoughts and minimize the abortive and remedial work. So the sooner the better. And then we can use certain kind of like the design principles with that language or protocol to align everybody in the project to have a more seamless delivery. While we wait for a few more questions, maybe I speed up the presentation with this. Elaine, is there a question?
Yes, we have one question over here. So, how do you practice sustainability in lighting design?
Sorry, say that again.
How do you practice sustainability in lighting design?
Practice what?
Sustainability.
Sustainability in lighting design. I think for lighting design needs to be broken out to many aspects. We can start with some of the principles. I'm sure you saw the symposium earlier by Gurav. He talked about brightness, right? Then he talked about contrast. Then he talked about color, talk about distribution, talk about control. So this 5 aspect is one. And the other thing is that you need to look at lighting is broken down to many types of lighting. You talk about architectural lighting, task lighting, decorative lighting. You don't do everything everywhere anytime. So if you have, for example, I take a 5-room flat for simple case in point, you come in, you have a nice entrance, that might be a key area you want to light it up. Then you're living and dining, because you have different activity, different ambience that you need, you might want to put in some special lights there. Then for your bathroom is basically a utility area. What kind of activity you have there? You want to have security, you want to have peace of mind, you want to be able to do certain things without too much ambience, but more practicality. So you layer the house in a certain way. Where it's important for you, you put a nice fixture, and we strongly suggest you be able to control it. But how Gurav mentioned was that you can buy a $500 downlight, and then you cannot control it. So it's basically like having like full-blown 100% volume by analogy, and then you cannot dim it. Then you are shortchanging yourself. So if you have that kind of sustainability kind of objective in mind, you think of when you design the lighting now, 10 years, you will look at it again, will it be something that's outdated? If you have that kind of perspective to design the lighting solution for the whole place, I think it'll be very sustainable. I hope I answered your question. In the meantime, let me just run through 1 or 2 more videos. It's quite interesting. I think it's so this lighting solution that we have is about turning on the lights gradually. The objective is there's no harsh transition, and how we go about doing this is like that. So what we have done is basically we take about 15-20 seconds to turn on the lights progressively. Then when we want to turn it off, we do it the other way around too. And this is a small apartment to showcase what we mean by lighting being a 4th-dimensional architecture. We'll show you a scene with a lighting control solution, well designed and executed. We can have a scene of coming home and leaving the house, all with a touch of 1 or 2 different buttons. just like that, what you need to do is that we need to plan early for it. Once you get a house, you're thinking of putting in a system, we come in and provide some kind of no obligation kind of consultancy about how you should go about doing certain things, what are some of the KPIs, what are the do's and don'ts. This is basically working from 9 to 5, so give you an idea. And with this in mind, you have cycle and consistency. Almost coming to a wrap. So this is the most important takeaway. Just check our website and click to understand. There's lots of rich content and a lot of design elements at the back end to drive and synchronize everybody through our this common language and protocol that will align everybody, save everybody time. Everybody's happy doing your project, so you get really make your house into a home. Any questions? That's pretty much the end of our presentation.
Okay, we have one question here. So this comes from a designer from Malaysia. They want to check if you extend your service to KL. That's one. And then for another one is because for clients whose intention are to make sorry, let me rephrase it again. For clients that intend to do makeovers to incorporate this system, I assume that this is a gut job. So it doesn't come with a surface solution. Does it come with a surface solution?
Surface or service?
Yeah, surface solution. Yeah,
How do you mean by surface solution?
Basically, they are intending to do makeovers. So how can they integrate like this system in?
Okay. First question regarding overseas project, very simple. We can do the design bit and then find our overseas partner. So we can do the design bit and then we work with them to make sure we can implement, install the system for you, and they can take care of you after the project is being done. So we don't have an issue about having absolute control. We like to share and work with partners. So when they have projects in Singapore and they can't come over, they do likewise for us. That's number one. Number two, that question I think is regarding a surface simple makeover. So the question you need to ask yourself is, will there be a lot of cable runs that's possible? That means if you're going to do fairly extensive renovation or not even very extensive renovation, but allows you to run cables or allow us to re-cable somewhat, or we can put in the more solid system. We call the custom install system. Conversely, if you don't intend to run any cables at all, we have another solution which is more retrofit, but that solution capabilities are more limited. It might not be up to the standard that you expect. So I hope I've answered the question. If not, feel free.
Yeah, I think Chen Ho answered the question very well. To add on to that, it's purely depending on the scale of renovation that we are exploring. I mean, if it's going to be partial, it's going to be a small renovation. I think it's easy to work around, like what Chen Ho mentioned, the retrofitable idea. To touch on a little bit from behalf of Seoul Luminaire, regards to the overseas project, like I covered earlier on that we do projects across Southeast Asia, right? So how we actually do work around with that is we probably will cater a little bit more allowance prior to the overseas project that we have. So in any case of event whereby one or two lights are faulty, they always have ever ready products, perhaps a slight tolerance of the required quantity. So that's how we will reassure our clients, apart from our local context, perhaps context of like Vietnam, in terms of Southeast Asia, I would say. Yeah, so meaning we will send the products over and we will still reassure them by giving them a sense of tolerance. Yeah, that's from Seoul Luminaire.
Actually, just to add on to what Edmund has just mentioned, based on my more than 20 years experience in this industry, for bigger projects or multiple units condominium, they always order some spares. So the downtime is minimized. So it's a natural process to order 5 or 10% of additional spares and all that, so that your downtime is minimized, so it's easier for you. That's just something to cater a budget for. It's very common. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I think early on during my question and answer, I think there was a question that came in a little bit later. So let me address that on to the viewer. Right. So the question is basically, how about the orientation of the building facing the sun? Does this affect the lighting new trend in 2020 to 2021 or say? Right. So basically, right, yes, I would say it do affect in a way or two. But nonetheless, we also view in terms of clients' context, in terms of in the night or in the sense of evening period, what's your daily activities like? If let's say your daily activities are required for you to work longer over the hours, then no doubt, yes, you need to cater a little bit of different approach prior to that. So it really goes towards more of a personal and a very interactive conversation that we will have. And then we will basically, from then on, we will share with you the possible lighting trends that you can definitely consider. I think that is one way that we can work around, even though when we have units that is facing towards the sun, or perhaps facing into our sea view. Yeah, these are probably some of the very common questions. All right, so I hope you guys all managed to take away from both Seoul Luminaire and Domus today regards to the sharing that we have done. Vice versa, if you guys are interested to know more details, I would only can express it by a physical appointment. I think that's the best for one to fully understand. If not, I hope to see you all soon. We will be having a second session tomorrow. Just after us, you will be expecting Peter Tay, which will be one of the most highlighted scene from many individuals itself. Yeah, so with that, on behalf of Seoul Luminaire and Domus, I'll thank you all for joining us for today's session. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you very much. Sincerely.